After years of being told autism is one single condition, scientists may have just split it into two biologically different forms, and that could change what a diagnosis even means for your family. A new study reports two distinct brain wiring patterns, one running too quiet and one running too loud. This is early research, not a clinical test you can ask for yet, but it points at a future where autism care stops being one blurry label. We're going to walk through 3 things: what the researchers actually found in the brain scans, why comparing human brains to mouse brains was the clever move, and the honest limits, including the one number that tells you how far this still has to go. Stick with us, because the catch at the end is the part that matters most.
Erica here. Last episode we looked at how blurry the autism label has become, and today we go deeper into the biology underneath it. The work was published in the journal Nature Neuroscience in 2026. The team compared more than 1,900 human brain scans taken with functional MRI against 20 different mouse models of autism, the first effort of its kind.
Bella, before we name the 2 types, give people the picture. What does it actually mean for brain regions to talk too little versus too much?
Bella here, and the easiest way in is to picture a city phone network. The first subtype shows what researchers call hypo-connectivity, which is a broad drop in calls between brain regions. The lines are open, but fewer signals get through. And in that group, the affected regions were enriched for genes that build and tune synapses, the tiny junctions where one neuron hands a message to the next.
Liam here, and the second subtype is the opposite problem on that same phone network. It shows hyperconnectivity, where regions flood each other with signals, like every line ringing at once. This group ties more closely to immune-related biology. And on the autism severity measures used in the study, it scored modestly higher than the quieter subtype.
Erica, this is the part I keep coming back to. Why drag mouse brains into a study about human autism at all? Walk us through the logic there.
Think of the mice as a control panel you can actually read. In a person, you cannot easily isolate one gene and watch what it does to brain wiring. In the mouse models you can, because each one carries a known autism-linked change. When a human pattern lined up with a specific mouse model, the team could point at biology, not just describe a fuzzy correlation.
And here is why this matters past the laboratory. Today, autism is one enormous label stretched over wildly different people, which is why one therapy can transform one child and barely touch another. If you could test which wiring pattern someone has, you could finally aim support at the actual biology instead of guessing your way through trial and error.
So this sounds like a breakthrough, and in some ways it is. Liam, here is where we owe everyone the honest part. How finished is this, really?
Not finished. And the headline number proves it. These 2 clean subtypes accounted for only about a quarter of the cases the team studied. That means roughly 3 out of 4 people did not fall neatly into either bucket. So this is a real signal, but it is a first map of a coastline, not a finished atlas of every cove.
Which leads to the line we want every parent to hear clearly. This is early research, and there is no brain scan you can book tomorrow to learn your child's subtype. The researchers themselves frame it as a step toward precision medicine diagnosis, a direction of travel, not a service that exists in any clinic right now.
Still, do not undersell what reproducible means here. The same 2 patterns showed up across separate datasets and across species, and that consistency is exactly what earlier single snapshot studies kept failing to deliver. So even covering a quarter of cases, this is a more solid foothold than most autism brain findings ever reach.
So if you forget everything else, hold on to this. Autism may not be one condition with one switch, but several biological stories wearing the same name. This study found 2 of those stories and proved they repeat, which is the first real step toward care that fits the person rather than the label. That is the two subtype finding and the honest fine print that comes with it. And the real surprise is how much of autism this map still leaves uncharted. Tell us in the comments, would a test like this change how you think about a diagnosis in your own family? For more plain English science updates that respect both the hope and the limits, the rest of the news playlist is right there when you want it.